Jinwoo stared out his bedroom window at the stars, his small 8-year-old hands pressed against the glass. His parents, Minho and Jisoo, had already tucked him in hours ago, but the bright lights in the sky kept him awake. The night sky above, his small town suddenly lit up with a flash. What looked like a falling star stopped in midair, floating silently above their house. Curious, Jinwoo opened his window. Cool night air rushed in, along with a strange humming sound. Before he could call for his parents, a beam of light covered him. His small body lifted off the floor, floating toward the strange craft. His scream got stuck in his throat. By morning, the whole country was in chaos. The Lee family's desperate cries for help played on every news channel. Videos from nearby houses showed the clear shape of a craft unlike anything Earth had ever seen. The first real alien kidnapping in human history had not targeted a military base or government building, but the bedroom of a child. "They took my son," Minho shouted at the police officers. "You have to believe me, it wasn't human." The officers looked at each other with doubt in their eyes until one of them got a call. Reports were coming in from all over. The strange craft had been seen by hundreds of people. Within hours, the military arrived. They set up equipment around the Lee house and began asking questions. Scientists in white coats examined Jinwoo's bedroom, taking samples and readings. "The energy signature is unlike anything we've ever recorded," said Dr. Yoonji to her team. "This is not human technology." As day turned to night, more strange ships appeared in skies around the world. They didn't attack or land, they just watched. People panicked. Some ran to the countryside. Others locked themselves in their homes. The world's leaders called emergency meetings. In a hidden military room, General Park slammed his fist on the table. "They crossed a line, taking one of our children. They couldn't have made a worse mistake." For the first time in history, the world's armies began working together. Old enemies shared secret weapons and technology. Scientists who once competed now worked side by side. Jisoo, Jinwoo's mother, went on TV to make a plea. "Please," she said, tears streaming down her face. "He's just a little boy. He must be so scared. Please bring him back to us." Her words touched hearts everywhere. Millions watched her speak. The aliens, too, seemed to be watching. 3 days after Jinwoo disappeared, a message came through every electronic device on Earth. The aliens called themselves the Zik. They said Jinwoo was safe. They said they had taken him to learn about humans. "You will not see him again," the message said. "He is now part of our collection." The world fell silent for a moment. Then came the rage. In secret bases around the world, ships were being built, weapons designed, plans made. Earth would not let one of its children go without a fight. Minho and Jisoo moved into a military base where they were updated daily. Most updates had no real news, but they clung to hope. Scientists showed them star maps pointing to where they thought the alien ship was heading. "We will find him," General Park promised them. "We will bring your son home." 1 month after Jinwoo was taken, Earth was ready to fight back. The first human starship, named Hope, prepared to launch. Its mission: find the Zeke and take back what was theirs. As the ship's engines fired up, a pilot named Sunwoo thought about his own daughter at home. He would travel across the stars to save someone else's child, because he knew others would do the same for his. The Hope lifted off, carrying the dreams and fury of an entire planet. The Zeke had made a terrible mistake. They had awakened a sleeping giant. They had taken a human child, and now they would face Earth's most fearsome response. 6 days after Jinwoo's abduction, the United Nations meeting room was packed. Leaders from every country sat shoulder to shoulder, their usual arguments forgotten. On the large screen, the alien message played again. "He is now part of our collection." General Hyun stood at the front, his face stern. "The Zik have made a critical error. They judged us by our divided past, not understanding what happens when humans unite for a child." The room buzzed with angry agreement. For the first time, military secrets were shared openly. America revealed their hidden space fleet. Russia offered their advanced weapons. China showed designs for engines that could travel faster than light. Korea provided AI systems beyond what was publicly known. "We have 7 ships ready now," said Admiral Kim, pointing to classified photos. "They were built for different purposes, but we can adapt them quickly." Dr. Somi Lee, Korea's top scientist, stepped forward with data from the abduction site. "We tracked their energy signature. The Zik ship left a trail we can follow to their home system." President Taylor nodded slowly. "How soon can we launch?" 2 weeks, Admiral Kim answered. "But we need crews willing to make a one-way journey. We don't know if they can return." The room fell silent until a voice spoke from the door. It was Minho, Jinwoo's father. Though not invited to this high-level meeting, no one moved to stop him. "My wife and I volunteer," he said firmly. "If you're going after our son, we want to help." General Hyun shook his head. "Mr. Lee, this is a military mission." "No one will fight harder for him than we will," Minho interrupted. "I was a pilot before I became a teacher. Jisoo was a nurse. We can be useful." The discussion continued late into the night. By morning, the Terran Defense Force was officially formed. Every nation contributed resources, personnel, and technology. Old space stations were repurposed as construction platforms. Scientists worked around the clock, combining technologies that had previously been kept secret from each other. The main ship, named Guardian, would lead the mission. 6 smaller vessels would accompany it, each serving a different role. The crew selection process was fierce, with thousands of military personnel volunteering. Against all protocol, Minho was assigned as a secondary pilot on Guardian. Jisoo joined the medical team. Their knowledge of their son made them valuable, and their determination inspired the crew. Training was brutal and rushed. The crews learned to operate new hybrid technologies, combining different nations' advances. Scientists created weapons based on what little they understood about the Zeke from their brief communication. "They're overconfident," Dr. Somi told the crews during a briefing. "They showed us their technology when they took Jinwoo, not realizing we could study and adapt it." 2 weeks stretched to 3 as final preparations were made. The world watched and waited. Children sent drawings to the crews. Churches, temples, and mosques held services. For once, humanity stood as one. On launch day, crowds gathered around screens in city squares. The 7 ships gleamed in Earth orbit, larger and more powerful than anything publicly seen before. Commander Jun stood on Guardian's bridge, looking at his crew, 40 specialists from 13 countries. "Today we show the galaxy that humans protect their own," he said. "The Zig took one child thinking we were just another primitive species for their collection. They will learn they have awakened something far more dangerous than they imagined." Minho and Jisoo sat at their stations, wearing uniforms with a small photo of Jinwoo pinned to their chests. "Engine systems ready," reported Engineer Taewoo. "Weapons online," confirmed Tactical Officer Lei. Commander Jun took a deep breath. "For Jinwoo, for Earth, and for every species these collectors have victimized, launch." The 7 ships accelerated out of orbit, their new engines glowing with energy, never before harnessed by humans. As they reached the edge of the solar system, they activated their faster-than-light drives, technology that each nation had been developing separately in secret, now combined into something new. In a flash of light, they vanished from our solar system, carrying humanity's rage and hope across the stars. The hunt for the Zeke had begun. The ship Guardian shook as it pushed through space faster than any human vessel before. Captain Minji stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the star map. 2 months had passed since they left Earth, chasing the alien ship that took Jinwoo. "How much longer?" she asked, her voice steady despite her worry. Taejo, the navigator, checked his screens. 3 days until we reach the Zik home system, Captain. The other ships are still with us." The 7 Earth ships traveled in formation, each one carrying the best technology humans had. What once was secret was now shared. American engines, Chinese weapons, Korean computers, and Russian shields all working together. In the medical bay, Jisoo checked supplies while thinking of her son. Each night, she looked at his picture and wondered if he was scared, if he was safe. Nearby, her husband Minho practiced in the flight simulator. The former pilot had quickly proven his skills to the military crew. "I miss him so much," Jisoo said when Minho found her later. Do you think he's changed? Minho held her hand. We'll find out soon. But no matter what, he's still our son. The crew of Guardian had become like family during their journey. They shared meals, stories, and the same burning purpose: rescue Jinwoo and show the aliens that taking a human child was the worst mistake they could make. On the fourth day, alarms blared throughout the ship. Captain, we've detected something ahead, called Sung-ho from the sensor station. It's big, really big. The main screen showed a massive structure floating in space, a ring larger than Earth's moon. Is that their home? Asked Minho, who had rushed to the bridge. Captain Minji shook her head. Not a planet, some kind of space station or habitat. As they moved closer, smaller ships appeared around the ring. The Zeke had spotted them. They're sending a message, said Communications Officer Yuna. She pressed a button, and an alien voice filled the bridge. Earth vessels, you have entered Zeke space. Your presence is unexpected. Explain yourselves. Captain Minji stood tall. I am Captain Minji of Earth. You took a child from our world. His name is Jinwoo Lee. We have come to take him home. Silence followed then. The human specimen is part of the collection now. Your journey was wasted. Return to your world. That's not happening, Minji replied. Return him peacefully, or we will take him by force. The alien voice sounded amused. Your primitive ships pose no threat to the collection. We have gathered specimens from 1,000 worlds more advanced than yours. On Minji's signal, the Earth ships spread out in attack formation. The plan they had practiced for months was now in motion. All ships, activate shields, she ordered. Remember your training. They don't know what we can do. The Zeke ships moved to surround them, sleek vessels that glowed with strange energy. They fired first, blue beams striking Guardian's shields. Shields holding, reported Defense Officer Junho. They're strong, but not as strong as we expected. Return fire, ordered Minji. Target their engines, not their main systems. We need them alive to find Jinwoo. Earth ships fired weapons that combined technologies never meant to work together. The Zeke clearly hadn't expected such advanced attacks. 2 of their ships spun out of control, their engines damaged. They're regrouping, Taijo warned. More ships coming from the ring. The battle intensified. Earth ships took damage but kept fighting. What they lacked in experience, they made up for in determination. We need to get inside that ring, said Minji. That's where they keep their collection. That's where Jinwoo will be. Minho studied the battle displays. There, he pointed. Their defense is weaker near that docking area. If we could slip a smaller team in, Captain Minji nodded. Good eye, prepare the shuttle. Assault team, gear up. Jisoo stepped forward. I'm going too. He'll need someone he knows. No one argued with the mother's determination. As the battle raged outside, a small team boarded the shuttle. Minho, Jisoo, and 6 soldiers from different countries, all trained for this moment. Find him and signal us, Minji told them. We'll keep them busy out here. The shuttle launched, speeding toward the ring while the battle drew the Zeke's attention. As they approached the enormous structure, they could see it clearly, not just a space station, but a massive zoo holding creatures from across the galaxy. We're coming, Jinwoo, whispered Minho as the shuttle slipped into a docking bay. We're finally here. The shuttle door hissed open, revealing a long hallway with strange blue lights. Minho led the team inside the giant ring, weapon ready. Jisoo followed close behind, carrying a medical kit and a small device that beeped softly. The tracker shows Jinwoo's DNA signature somewhere in this section, she whispered, looking at the screen. About 500 meters that way. The 6 soldiers spread out in practiced formation. They had trained for months, but nothing prepared them for what they saw inside the Zeke collection. The walls were clear, showing rooms filled with creatures from other worlds. Some looked almost human. Others were completely alien. Floating gas clouds, crystal formations that moved slowly, beings made of what looked like pure light. They're all specimens, said Soldier Kim, her voice tight with anger. This isn't just about Jinwoo. This is a giant zoo. As they moved deeper, they saw human-sized Zik for the first time. The aliens were tall with 4 arms and skin that shifted, colors like oil on water. They wore no clothes but had belts with strange tools. "Hide," hissed Minho as 2 Zik turned a corner ahead. The team pressed against the wall in a dark section. The Zik walked past, talking in musical tones. They seemed relaxed, not expecting any danger in their own home. "They don't think we're a threat," whispered Soldier Park. They never thought anyone would come after them. The tracker beeped faster as they approached a large circular room. Through the clear walls, they could see dozens of enclosures designed to look like environments from different worlds. And there, in a space made to look like a human bedroom, sat Jinwoo. Jisoo gasped. Her son looked physically fine. He was playing with some kind of holographic toy. But he was alone in the fake room, watched by hidden cameras. "Jinwoo," she whispered, tears filling her eyes. Before they could move closer, a door opened and 3 Zik entered the central control room. The team ducked behind a large container. "Those must be the scientists who study the specimens," said Soldier Lee, watching through a small camera. "They're checking readings on each habitat." "We need a distraction," Minho decided. He nodded to 2 soldiers who moved silently around the circular room. Moments later, alarms blared from the opposite side of the collection. The Zik scientists hurried toward the noise, leaving only one behind. Minho and Jisoo moved fast. They entered the control room where the remaining Zik turned in surprise. Before it could react, Soldier Kim stunned it with an electrical pulse. "Find the controls for Jinwoo's enclosure," ordered Minho. Soldier Park worked quickly at the alien console. "Their technology is advanced, but the concepts are similar to ours. Here." A door slid open in Jinwoo's habitat. The boy looked up, confused. At first. Then he saw them. "Mom? Dad?" His voice was uncertain, as if he couldn't believe his eyes. Jisoo ran to him, dropping to her knees and pulling him into her arms. "Yes, baby, it's us. We came for you." Jinwoo clung to her, his small body shaking. "I knew you would come. I told them humans don't give up on family, but they didn't believe me." Minho joined the hug, his eyes wet with tears. "We have to go now, son. Can you run?" Jinwoo nodded bravely. "I've been exercising every day so I'd be ready when you came." "Azar." They turned to leave. The main door slid open. A larger Zik entered, its skin flashing angry red patterns. Unlike the others, this one wore a decorated belt and moved with authority. "Thieves," it said in perfect Korean, surprising them all. "The human child belongs to the collection now." Minho stepped forward, shielding his family. "He belongs with his people, with his parents." His Zik's skin shifted to a curious blue. "Parents? You are creators of this specimen?" "He's our son," said Jisoo firmly. "Not a specimen, a child. Our child." The alien seemed confused. "Many species abandon their young. We assumed humans were the same when we detected no resistance capability in your technology." "You were wrong," said Minho. "Humans will cross galaxies for their children." The Zik leader's color changed again. "Your ship's outside. They are fighting well against forces that have conquered entire systems. How is this possible?" "Because we're fighting for someone we love," said Jisoo. "There's nothing stronger than that." The alien studied them for a long moment. Then it touched its belt and the alarms suddenly stopped. "The collection has existed for 10,000 years, it said. No species has ever pursued us. No specimen has ever been reclaimed." It paused. "This requires further study." A larger Zik voice boomed through the station. "All units cease fire. Bring the human representatives to the Great Hall. The collector wishes to speak with them." The Great Hall of the Zik collection was enormous, with ceilings that seemed to reach forever. Minho and Jisoo stood side by side. Jinwoo held tightly between them. Captain Minji and the other ship captains had joined them, forming a protective circle around the family. The collector, leader of all Zik, sat on a floating platform. Unlike the other Zik, this one was ancient, its skin pattern slow and deep with colors humans had no names for. In 10,000 years of collecting specimens, the collector said, its voice translated through speakers, no species has ever done what humans have done. You built ships to follow us. You fought our defenses. You came for one small child. We will always come for our children, Captain Minji said firmly. Every human child is precious to us. The collector's skin rippled with thoughtful blues. We have studied thousands of species. Many produce offspring in large numbers, caring little for individuals. We assumed humans were the same. You were wrong, said Jisoo, her arm tight around Jinwoo's shoulders. Every child matters to us. The boy looked up at the massive alien without fear. I told them, Mom. I told them humans would come. The collector floated down until it was closer to them. Little one, you spoke truly. Your species has surprised us. It turned to address all the humans. We offer terms. The child returns with you. In exchange, we wish to learn about humans, not as specimens, but as equals. No more taking people without permission, demanded Captain Minji. No more collections of sentient beings. The ancient alien was silent for a long moment. Our purpose has always been to preserve and study, but perhaps our methods must change. After hours of discussion, a treaty was formed. The Zik would return all sentient specimens to their homeworlds. They would share their advanced technology with Earth, and they would never again take without asking. As the humans prepared to leave, they discovered something unexpected. Other captive species wanted to meet them. Your people did what ours could not, said a tall crystal-like being through a translator. You have freed us all. Some creatures had been in the collection so long their homeworlds no longer existed. The humans offered them sanctuary on Earth. 1 week later, the Earth ships prepared for the journey home. They had been repaired with Zik technology, making the return trip much faster. 2 Zik ships would accompany them as a sign of the new alliance. On the Guardian's bridge, Jinwoo sat in a special seat between his parents, watching the stars. What was it like? Minho finally asked the question they'd been afraid to ask. Were they cruel to you? Jinwoo shook his head. Not cruel, not. They just didn't understand. They gave me toys and food. They watched me all the time. I was lonely, but I wasn't hurt. Jisoo brushed his hair back. You're so brave. I'm so proud of you. I knew you'd come, Jinwoo said simply. I told the other specimens that humans always come for their family. Some of them had been there so long they'd given up hope. Captain Minji gave the order, and the ships jumped to faster-than-light speed. What had taken months on the journey out would take only weeks returning home. Back on Earth, celebrations began as news of the successful mission spread. Schools and businesses closed. People filled the streets, looking up at the sky. 3 weeks. Later, the ships appeared in Earth orbit escorted by the strange Zik vessels. People watched on screens worldwide as the shuttle carrying Jinwoo and his parents descended to Seoul Olympic Stadium. When the door opened, and Jinwoo stepped out holding his parents' hands, the crowd's roar was deafening. The boy blinked in the sunlight, then smiled and waved. Behind the family came Captain Minji and her crew, followed by 2 Zik representatives and several alien refugees who had chosen to come to Earth. The president stepped forward to greet them. Today marks a new chapter for humanity. We have taken our place among the stars. We have shown the galaxy who we are and what we stand for. Jinwoo was given the microphone. The 8-year-old looked out at the thousands of people who had come to welcome him home. I told the Zik that humans are special, he said in a clear voice. Not because we're smart or strong, but because we never give up on each other. They didn't believe me until they saw our ships coming for me. That night, as Jinwoo slept in his real bedroom, his parents watched over him. Outside, the stars looked different to them now. Do you think we'll ever be the same? Jisoo asked softly. Minho shook his head. No, we know what's out there now, but we also know what we're capable of. In orbit, the Zik ships prepared to leave, carrying a message to spread across the galaxy. Earth was open to peaceful contact. but anyone who threatened its children would face its most fearsome response.